An emotional reunion as Americans Evan Gershkovich and Paul Whelan return home after the largest prisoner exchange between Russia and the U.S. since the Cold War. And former President Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, visits the U.S. Mexico border in Arizona. The Morning Rundown starts now.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world. This is the Morning Rundown.
Today is Friday, August 2nd. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kara Rucker. Former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan, Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich, and several other Americans who were wrongfully being detained by Russia are back on American soil this morning. Greeting them off the plane at Joint Base Andrews in Maryland, President Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, and their loved ones. An emotional reunion as these high-profile American prisoners of Russia return home as part of a major prisoner exchange between the U.S. and Russia. President Biden saying negotiations had been going on for months and involved 7 countries and a total of 24 prisoners. In exchange for the freedom of Paul Whelan, who had already served 5 years in captivity, and Evan Gershkovich, who had been detained for 491 days, Russia is getting back 8 of its own, including 2 spies being released by Slovenia and a convicted murderer held in Germany. Some foreign policy experts say prisoner swaps could give U.S. adversaries incentive to take more Americans on false pretenses and treat them as bargaining chips. But Biden had this to say.
My job is to make sure, number one, they don't get them. And if they do, we get them back.
As for Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich, he apparently made a bold proposal, asking whether Russia's President Vladimir Putin would do a sit-down interview with him now that he has been released from prison. The push for Venezuela's electoral authority to show proof Nicolas Maduro actually won Sunday's election is reaching a critical point as the United States announced it's officially recognizing opposition candidate Edmundo Gonzalez as the winner. The U.S. joins multiple countries calling for the official results to be released after the opposition said it had evidence Maduro did not win. After the National Electoral Council declared Maduro the winner, thousands of opposition supporters took to the streets in protest, which turned deadly. At least 11 people reportedly killed. Hundreds of protesters have also been arrested since then in what has become a volatile week in the nation, with still many questions left unanswered about the future of Venezuela's ruling party. On the campaign trail here in the U.S., former President Donald Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, toured the border in Arizona on Thursday and met with Border Patrol, who say southern Arizona is at the epicenter of smuggling fentanyl. Vance laid out what would be some of the border security measures the Trump administration would put in place immediately, including re-implementing deportations and other Trump-era immigration policies, such as Remain in Mexico, and continuing construction on the border wall. Vance now heads to Atlanta, where he and Trump will share the stage at a Georgia rally on Saturday. As for Democratic presumptive nominee Vice President Kamala Harris, she has started to secure delegates this week to officially become the party's official nominee. Her campaign has a busy week ahead, expecting to secure her spot at the top of the Democratic ticket as early as Monday. And soon after is expected to announce her running mate before holding a rally in Philadelphia. Chip maker Intel is cutting 15% of its workforce, which is at least 15,000 jobs, in an effort to compete with its more successful rivals. In a memo to staff on Thursday, Intel CEO said the company plans to save $10 billion in 2025 alone. Intel is also suspending its stock dividend as part of its cost-cutting plan. The company reported a loss of $1.6 billion in its second quarter. That was April through June of this year. And its forecast third quarter revenues will be well below expectations. News that sent company shares tumbling, setting the chip maker up to lose more than $24 billion in market value. A federal judge has overturned a nearly $5 billion verdict in an NFL Sunday ticket case. The class action lawsuit was brought by subscribers who alleged the NFL violated antitrust laws by overcharging to watch out-of-market games on its paid subscription service. Upon appeal, a U.S. district judge ruled two witnesses' testimonies should have been left out and said the jury's verdict was clearly not supported by evidence and must be vacated. Finally this morning, Team USA was able to pick up more Olympic gold, bringing its total to 9 so far at the Paris Games, with historic wins on Thursday in fencing and rowing, as well as swimmer Kate Douglas earning her first gold medal. And even more history was made by two of the biggest stars of Team USA, Simone Biles and Katie Ledecky. Biles getting her 6th gold medal and 9th medal overall, winning the individual all-around competition for a second time, reclaiming her 2016 title. Biles, already the most decorated American gymnast in Olympics history, is the first American to win the event more than once and the first gymnast to win it non-consecutively. And she wasn't alone in representing the U.S. on the medal stand, her teammate Suni Lee taking home the bronze. And then there is U.S. swimmer Katie Ledecky, her team earning the silver in the 4x200-meter freestyle, giving Ledecky her 13th medal, the most by any U.S. female Olympian in the history of the Games. And they're not done yet. Both Biles and Ledecky still have chances to add more medals to their historic totals in the days ahead. These are your top stories for this Friday. We'll see you back here on Monday. Until then, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great weekend.